All right, problem number 3. So we got a ball drop from rest and it hits the ground with a velocity of 5 meters per second. We want to know how long it was in the air and from how high it was dropped. So once again, if you notice, the diagrams for these are just kind of pathetically similar and boring. So we start from rest. We have an initial height of unknown. We have a final height of 0. We have a final, whoops, see, I gotta be so careful about this. I just called that V naught. And I didn't even mean to call it that at all, because it's 5 meters per second, man. Alright, we don't know the time. And we know that the gravitational acceleration, as always, is negative 9.81 meters per second squared. Yay! That, of course, we measured in lab with the person dropping the basketball. That was neato. So, how long was the ball in the air for? Let's figure it out. I am lazy, and we'll use the easiest formula that I know. V equals gt plus V naught. So, I'm going to say 5 equals negative 9.81 times time plus 5. And when I solve that, I'm actually going to, whoops, man, I keep doing this. My initial velocity is plain old 0. I started from rest. I even got it labeled here. What's wrong with me? All right, so we solve for the time, and we get 0.51 seconds. Right now, and let me make sure I got all of this right. So we have V naught. Interesting that we get a negative time. So, you know what? I did make one little mislabel. You see how I called this 5 meters per second? I need to be careful. It's pointing downwards because the speed is this way. So that's actually a negative 5. I need to go back and correct that and put a negative 5 here, so be very careful when you label that. And then from how high was the ball dropped? I'm going to use this formula. V squared equals V naught squared plus 2gy minus y naught. So that's going to be 25 equals 0 squared plus 2 times negative 9.81 times my unknown minus y naught. And so I'm going to end up getting 25 divided by 2 times negative 9.81 equals negative y naught. So these two negatives, we can actually end up canceling them out. We actually end up getting y naught equals, I know the key says 1.27. Let me just go ahead and check that. And looks like we are okay with that. So y naught actually ends up being 1.27 meters. So that's problem number 3. And we will continue working through this worksheet.